In this video, we're going to talk about what you should expect after your offer has been accepted. So why is it so important for you to know what to expect after your offer has been accepted, even prior to you submitting an offer? Well, the answer is pretty obvious. If you know what to expect about the process, the better educated and the better prepared you're going to be. Generally speaking, the more educated and prepared you are for something, the greater the results you're going to achieve. And that's what these videos are really all about, me educating and preparing you for the real estate process so you can achieve amazing results when you go to purchase your home. So this video is going to take you from A to Z, from the time your contract's accepted, all the way to you getting the keys at the closing table, soup to nuts. So congratulations, you hired the right realtor. You got your finances in order, you hired the right lender, you got pre-approved, you went home shopping, you found the right house, you submitted an offer, and bam, you got your offer accepted. Congratulations. That is a big deal, right? There's a lot of work that is involved up to this point to get you to this point. From your realtor, from your lender, from you, time, stress, a lot goes into it. Give yourself a little bit of a pat on the back, right? But don't give yourself too much of a pat on the back because there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to get you to the closing table. So the process after the contract has been accepted by the seller can range. We're just going to use 30 days as a benchmark. It could be longer, it could be shorter. Again, that's a term that's negotiable. But the first step in any contract is the earnest money deposit. Generally speaking, you have about 3 days to get the earnest money deposit to the bank. It's a wire transfer from your bank account to the escrow company that's handling the transaction. Generally 1% of the contract price, could be a little more, could be a little bit less depending on the terms. But that's something you want to get done right away. You don't want to wait to the third day to have it done because anything can happen. So the moment you get your contract signed, go to the bank, get the money wire transferred, just take care of it. Happening concurrently or at the same time as the earnest money deposit is also the right to cancel period, or also known as the inspection period. Really what this time is, by the letter of the law, is the right of the buyer to cancel the contract during that time frame for any reason or no reason at all. Typically speaking, the longer the right to cancel or inspection period is, the more favorable a term it is for the buyer. The shorter the inspection period is, the more favorable term it is for the seller. In Central Florida right now, 10 days is your typical inspection period. So most people perform an inspection. They hire an inspector during this time to go take a look at the house. They look over everything in the house. They'll tell you everything that's wrong, and they'll spit it out in a really long report, generally within 24 to 48 hours after the inspection. Now, this, generally speaking, is a time for negotiation. Maybe some stuff on the report came up that you weren't aware of, maybe some cosmetic stuff, maybe there's a leaky faucet, maybe there's issues with the roof, the electric, whatever. It's a time for you as the buyer to go to the seller and say one of two things. I want you to fix X, Y, and Z, or I want a credit at closing for X, Y, and Z. And again, it's a negotiation. Maybe the seller says, all right, we'll fix X, Y, and give a credit for Z, or maybe we won't fix X, Y, and we'll just give you a credit for Z. Whatever it is, it's a time for negotiation. Provided that you're able to get through the inspection period, the next kind of major hurdle that you're going to need to work through is the appraisal. And there's really nothing that you can do. This can be a stressful time because there's a lot of waiting. Key thing that you want to know about the appraisal period is do not order the appraisal. Do not have the lender order the appraisal until after you've cleared inspections. Really important because the appraisal is something you pay for up front. It's not part of your closing costs, and it generally costs about $500. So if you order the appraisal and you pay the lender $500 on a house that is going to fall over with a strong gust of wind that you're not going to move forward with, well, then you just wasted $500. Which you really don't want to do. So you order the appraisal after you've cleared inspections. Basically what the appraisal is, it's going to be a third-party company that's going to go in and they're going to appraise the house. How they do that, they're going to compare it to similar properties that have sold in the last 180 days. generally speaking within a 1 or a couple mile radius of the home. Similar square footage, similar bedrooms. They're going to try to find houses that most closely resemble the subject property or the property that it is that you have under contract. So one of two things are going to happen. Either the house comes in, the appraised value is going to be the contract price or higher, which is what you want, because then you just move forward, everyone's good with the lender. Or, and this can where things can get a little bit stressful, the house comes in under the appraised value comes in under the contract price, in which case a couple things are going to have to happen. Either you're going to have to renegotiate the contract price in order to get approved for the loan, or you're going to have to bring extra money to make up the difference of the appraised value and the contract price to the closing table, which means more money out of your pocket, which most people are not willing to do if it's a significant sum. So you cross your fingers, you hope that the appraised value matches or is higher than the contract price. If it comes in lower than the contract price, you're most likely going to have to renegotiate the terms of the contract with the seller in order to move forward. Either way, let's say you move forward through the appraisal process, you're almost at the closing table. There's probably going to be a whole lot more documents that the lender is going to require of you, pay stubs, tax statements, whatever they ask. There's a lot of regulations in the mortgage industry for a lot of good reasons. It's to protect you as homeowners, the people selling homes, the lenders, the realtors, everyone involved in the real estate industry. These guidelines are there to protect everyone. So they're not going to ask you for stuff that they don't need. It can be frustrating. You might grow impatient and think, well, I already sent this, or they're not going to ask you stuff. They don't want to ask you for more stuff. They have to, right? These are guidelines written by the federal government that they have to abide by. So just give them everything that they ask for and try to do it in a timely basis so you can get to the closing table on time and you get the keys. So provided you've done all that, you're at the closing table, you're going to bring 2 forms of ID. You're going to sign your name 150 million times, a lot of different documents, which are going to be explained to you by the notary public that's going to be witnessing the signatures. And then boom, you get the keys to the house, maybe a bottle of champagne or sparkling cider or whatever it is. You could take some pictures with your realtor and you can have a wonderful memory and a great time, right? A to Z, from the time your contract accepted to you getting the keys. Again, to recap, earnest money deposit process, about 3 days to get the money wire transferred to the escrow company holding the money. Right to cancel or inspection period, generally speaking 10 days, could be more, could be less. You have the right to cancel the contract for any reason during that time. Typically you want to get the home inspected, which kind of starts a negotiation with the seller. Once you're through inspections, you go through the appraisal process. The house gets appraised, hopefully at appraised value. If not, if it comes in under appraised value, you either have to renegotiate the terms of the contract or bring more money to the closing table. Finally, you give the lender everything that they've asked for. You get to the closing table, you sign your name 150 million times, you get the keys to the house. And that's it. Sounds super easy, I know, but it is a long and can be very stressful process. But if you have any additional questions, please hit the Talk to Chuck button. I'm here to answer anything you have. And once again, I appreciate everyone out there watching these videos. Thank you so much.